maybe this is towards the end of a career.
Yeah, he had a big spell there and a serious issue after last prep, and it's been a rehab prep, and he's gone a long way into the prep, and whether he's still where he should be, whether he's at his peak, I don't know, but whether he's at his peak in life, I'm not sure. But today might tell the tale.
Here's Matt Hill for his call of the 2019 Zipping Classic.
The Zipping Classic over 2,400 metres. Mid-term. Takes one more turn. The Kyneton Cup winner takes the outside alley. And they're set to run. Field of 10 ready. Mile and a half, racing in the Zipping Classic. Gallic Chieftain just a shade slow. Chapada began well with Ventura Storm, and Del Harold's right up there with Miss Siska. And Mid-term is zipping over from that wide gate. Southern France is in the back half wide from Gallic Chieftain, Patrick Erin. Then Humidor second last, and Savioke at the rear. That's the order at the judge. A lap of the hillside track to go. Del Harold is the leader by 3/4 of a length. Second is Mid-term, and they get away about 2.5. Miss Siska, the outer of Ventura Storm, followed by Chapada. Next, Patrick Erin, who has the fence, and then Gallic Chieftain. Southern France is able to sneak back one off the outside of Humidor. 2 lengths to Savioke at the rear. Del Harold, 1,800 metres to go, was just touched off last year and leads the field in 2019 by a length to Mid-term. A length and a half Ventura Storm third from Miss Siska. 2.5 Chapada, the outer of Patrick Erin at the 1,500 metres. A length and a quarter Gallic Chieftain, and then came Humidor. Southern France second last, the favourite, and Savioke is at the end. So it's Del Harold who's bowling along in front of the 1,400 metres in even tempo by a length. Second is Mid-term, 2 lengths Ventura Storm from Miss Siska. 3 further back, Chapada, Patrick Erin, and then came Gallic Chieftain. Further back is Humidor, Southern France, and Savioke is at the end. Del Harold's quickened down the back at the 1,200 metres and is just starting to string them out a bit. About a length and a quarter Mid-term. A length and a half Ventura Storm third, and then came the mare Miss Siska as they reached the 1,000 metres. About 2.5 Chapada, Patrick Erin, then Gallic Chieftain, Humidor. Second last is Southern France, and a length and a half to Savioke at the end of the top corner. 800 metres to go in the Zipping Classic, and it's Del Harold by a half length, kept up to his work by Mid-term. Ventura Storm is poised in the box seat. Then Miss Siska, a length and a quarter, Chapada, Patrick Erin. Then came Gallic Chieftain. Humidor is third last. Southern France, Zara's just rowing along there, and at the end of the field, Savioke into the straight. Del Harold has a few chasing down the dip at the 450. Mid-term's trying to get on terms. Ventura Storm getting off their back from Miss Siska, and then Chapada down the outside from Gallic Chieftain. Southern France is the widest and winding up. They've got to Del Harold. Miss Siska takes the lead at the 200 from Chapada. Mid-term, Southern France down the outside. Miss Siska 100 to go. Southern France gobbles it up. Southern France lets down now, and Southern France with a devastating win. Scored a length and 3/4. Photo second, Chapada from Miss Siska, Gallic Chieftain also there. Then Mid-term, Humidor, Ventura Storm, Savioke, Patrick Erin. Del Harold got tired and finished amongst the tail enders.
You're feeling a lot better, that group, aren't they? I mean, they outlaid a fair bit of dough to get this horse to Australia. It had some little queries about him in Ireland. The vets had had a look at him here in Australia prior to the Melbourne Cup. That was a solid performance, and the Melbourne Cup winning horses coming to this race continue almost a 50% strike rate.
Yeah, important win there for the stable, I'd say, with that horse. They've put their cojones on the line for him.
Their reputation in a way.
They've got their better owners into this horse, and anyone would think he's still trained by Aidan O'Brien with a pacemaker in the race, Bruce, with Del Harold, the stablemate, but really did set it up for him. He was a one-pace horse. He needed a rolling tempo, and he got it, and he was just the superior stayer on the day.
He finished resolutely. Galileo, we know what a phenomenon. 84 Group 1s, the same as Dane Hill, the world record. But he didn't... Our system of racing probably didn't suit him that much, but he's having a pretty good spring, Galileo, isn't he?
Oh, he's all over the world. He's the best stallion in the world, and this Southern France, they obviously didn't buy him for this, but it's a nice consolation prize, isn't it? A nice sort of 180,000 to cover expenses at the end of the spring.
You kept thinking that he'd beaten down Draft and Master Reality in the trial, in the St Leger trial in Ireland 3 starts ago. And, you know, that form was good enough to win this race, wasn't it?
100%. 9 lengths off horses like Stradivarius and Kew Gardens, and that's world-class staying form, and he's turned up in a Zipping Classic at Sandown, and you'd think He might not get those conditions that he needs, though, in future staying races in Australia. He's a horse that looks like he needs a good tempo. Unless they keep sending Del Harold around as his travelling mate everywhere, he might struggle, particularly at some of our tighter tracks. But Sandown Hillside suited him perfectly. The rolling tempo suited him, and he was really good.
He must have given Mark Zahra a good field. Mark is with Chris Simons.
Well, Mark, we were a little bit worried there at the half mile. This horse didn't look to be travelling that well. You were coaching him along at about the 700, but he's just a horse that needs ground.
Yeah, look, he's an end-tire too, so I sort of wanted to be a bit closer, but Willow's got a bit of big head off the Melbourne Cup. He wouldn't let me in, so I had to come back behind him, and I was a little bit worried I was a bit far off him, but when I went for him today, I just knew I was going to be really strong, and I was, and he responded really good. I think that last furlong was pretty special.
Well, the pace was on better today compared to the Melbourne Cup. The horse was brought over here for the Melbourne Cup, but things didn't go to plan, I suppose. But this was a good race to find afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a consolation. He's obviously got the ability, but he just needs a bit of speed on because he's got that really good turn of foot. So good for the owners to get a bit of money back. I think they paid a bit for him, and they're all good people. So hopefully next year's Melbourne Cup, we'll put that in the calendar.
As per usual, you've had a fantastic spring so far. There's only a couple more meetings left before into the summer months. But where does Mark Zahra go after the Spring Carnival?
I'll start in Bali, then I'll go to Maldives. I might drop into Hong Kong before I start again in 2020.
Oh, good on you, mate. Well done.
Cheers, Chrissy.
Kieran, congratulations on the performance here. The 8th runner since 2007 to go from the Melbourne Cup into the Zipping Classic and win, but top of the straight, that didn't look like it was going to be the case.
Yeah, no, he needed a bit of a shake-up, but Mark, he rode him well. Had him back a little bit further, but there was genuine tempo, and no, he quickened up nice, and that's probably more like, his run was a shade disappointing. Didn't get a lot of luck in the Melbourne Cup, but he's made up for it now, and he was a good win today.
Didn't get a lot of luck in the Melbourne Cup, as you mentioned, but there also was that tempo that didn't suit. Did you come here with confidence?
Yeah, we thought the race would map a little bit better. Obviously, it didn't. It was quite winnable, and it was just good. Like the track's in perfect order today, and I thought the big track of Sandown will suit. And it's good. There's a great team of owners, Colin McKenna and Ray and Susie Montague and Darren Dance have put this horse together, and it's a real credit to them, and they've got a really nice horse in their hands.
Do you have to sit down and have a discussion now to try and keep this horse here, or do you know the plan moving forward?
No, there's a couple of plans I mapped out the other day. One is he could head straight back and maybe go to Dubai, or he may stay here and head towards maybe Australian Cup into a Tancred or something like that.
Great training performance by you and the team. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So thinking Australian Cup, maybe Tancred. Gee, there's a lot of Galileo about him. And so for Ma, Eustace and Zahra, a Sandown Cup and a Zipping Classic in the one day. It's been a good day's work.
Yeah, they are the penultimate trainers of stayers in Melbourne. I think they're good trainers, and they train stayers well, and they target these staying races.
It was hard not to be impressed. He was so strong late. So we've got another horse to look forward to watching in maybe the next spring.